China wants to dominate the high seas, and so far, it's succeeding. 7 of the world's largest shipping ports are in China, with the Port of Shanghai topping the list. It's the ports outside of the country's borders, though, that retired Rear Admiral Mark Montgomery tells CBN News concerns Washington and its allies the most.
China's primary goal is access for resource extraction, access for future operations. But that access has the long-term goal of China displacing the United States as the economic partner of choice globally.
These red dots show China's growing network of ports spanning each ocean and continent. Chinese companies, most owned by the communist government, have spent billions building 129 ports in more than 50 countries, many along vital and strategic shipping lanes.
Most of the stuff you buy crosses the world by sea. But shipping containers don't just hold goods. They hold something else too: power. And China is all in.
Peru's Shanghai port is Beijing's latest megaport project, inaugurated in November by China's President Xi Jinping.
This is a significant development, a significant win, frankly, for the Chinese Communist Party in Latin America, in our American neighborhood.
At a cost of nearly $4 billion, China's state-owned COSCO Shipping controls 60% of the port and states it will reduce shipping time between China and South America by 10 days.
It's going to become the shipping hub between China and South America.
This is absolutely crucial for China because China's only hope right now to rescue its grim situation at home on the economy is to export more. They realize they're being shut out of developed markets like the U.S., Canada, and as well the European Union, so they need what they call the Global South.
Today, China is South America's largest trading partner. And here in Brazil, the most populous and largest in the region, trade with Beijing surpasses the United States by a ratio of 2 to 1. Brad Bowman, Senior Director of the Center on Military and Political Power at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies, says that America is dangerously losing influence in its own backyard, with countries historically aligned with Washington.
In many respects, we're just getting out-hustled by the Chinese Communist Party. We're taking our position for granted. And my read of history tells me that if you take what you have for granted and you don't compete and you don't defend it, that you're going to lose it.
Military experts express concerns that China's aggressive ownership of these international ports might allow it to gain military leverage, such as eventually hosting Chinese naval assets.
So is a port dual use? Of course it is, right? Because this massive new port in Peru might be serving large container ships today, but it can service PLA Navy vessels tomorrow.
Montgomery says many ports operated by COSCO Shipping use a digital management software system called Logic to monitor ship and cargo movements. That system is also government-owned.
If the Chinese run your integrated management system for your ports, they're going to have undue influence during a crisis or casualty when you're trying to move military supplies or parts. And the Chinese have the ability to rapidly disrupt your port operating systems. They really have incredible insight into world trade, insight into military and security movements, and potentially the opportunity to disrupt them.
In 2013, President Xi launched China's Belt and Road Initiative, also known as the New Silk Road. Stretching from East Asia to Europe, Africa, and South America, China has spent more than $1 trillion building roads, railways, power grids, ports, and more, all to gain influential international partnerships. As part of its Belt and Road Initiative, China has also been spending quite a bit of money on the African continent. For example, in 2022, it built this major highway connecting the international airport with downtown Nairobi.
In Africa, between 2013 and 2023, China made over $800 billion worth of Belt and Road Initiative investments in Africa. That's a staggering sum. As a result, we're being rapidly displaced as the economic security partner of choice.
Whether in Africa, South America, or Asia, Experts say it's clear China is on a mission to become the world's leading superpower.
China sees the United States as an existential threat, not because of anything that we say or do, but because of who we are. You have an insecure regime in Beijing is worried about the inspirational impact of America's values and form of governance over the Chinese people. So China wants to get rid of the United States because it believes that it will never be safe or secure as long as the American Republic exists.
Bowman says China's leaders want to accomplish this dominance without firing a shot.
They understand that a war with the United States would be very costly for them. So as Sun Tzu said more than 2.5 millennia ago, the acme of skill is to win without fighting. And by fighting, he meant bombs, bullets, and guns. So China is trying to defeat us without having to fire a kinetic shot, but they're firing shots already in the information, economic, and cyber domains. This problem is that Americans don't realize it, and predators like nothing better than slumbering prey.
George Thomas, CBN News, reporting from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and Nairobi, Kenya.